Hey, I'm Phil.
I'm Miles.
And we are TactileTK. You can, again, find us normally streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/TactileTK. A little plug in there. But we're stepping away from sort of the day job to starting to branch out into some podcast videos, some podcasts. I don't know what you call it.
Right, yeah.
But we wanted to give a reaction video to the new trailers that have dropped today.
Yeah.
Namely, starting with Batman Gotham Knights, or whatever we're calling it.
It's really the first time we're trying to do this. I mean, streaming has been kind of this gateway drug into just wanting to venture out into other medias, and obviously we're really good best friends, and talk about this stuff off stream. We just want to share it with the world,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our first kind of live reaction video. We just got finished watching the game. We kind of did it backwards. So we watched the gameplay trailer. With voiceover from I guess one of the co-creators or something.
Yeah.
And then we skipped the world premiere trailer for the actual game, which kind of just worked out backwards.
Right. It was a pleasant surprise though.
It was.
That gameplay was so much fun.
It was incredible, and we're so excited. But without further ado, because I just can't wait anymore. Without further ado, we're just gonna get into the trailer. So let's go.
In breaking news, we've received reports of an explosion somewhere north of the city.
We're still waiting for the police to confirm if there are any victims. This
Oh.
is evolving rapidly. Please bear with us.
We are just really loud.
It has to be taking place after Arkham Knight. I think that's what. Isn't that what they were?
Services have
Seems
confirmed
like
that
that's
they've
being
discovered a body buried in the wreckage. We're still waiting.
Seems like that's what they're talking about. That's this explosion.
It appears that a large portion of the building has actually
In
collapsed.
international news, an explosion rocked Gotham City earlier
We are
today.
now able to confirm that billionaire philanthropist Bruce Wayne is...
If you're watching this, I'm dead. This is a code black.
That's Jason.
Yeah.
This message was automatically triggered when I destroyed the cave and everything it contained. We both know it won't take long for Gotham's criminals to realize that Batman is gone. And you can't count on the GCPD. Haven't trusted us since Jim died. Gotham will need its protectors more than ever. I'm leaving you the Belfry as base of operations. Some of the technology is outdated, but it has the gear you need and all of my files. You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
Yes.
about them.
They're doing this storyline!
Yes. Not a whisper word is said. For if you try to crush them, then the town strikes you dead.
Let us give a moment of silence for the perfect game trailer.
So, there is a lot to unpack there.
Yes!
There is a lot. First off, I want to say it's really fascinating because it feels like they're branching out from the ending of Arkham Knight for those who are, I guess there'll be spoiler warning on this or something for those who have not played Arkham Knight, but you know, the destruction of Wayne Manor and Bruce Wayne being presumed dead. But it's different because Jim Gordon's not dead in the Arkham Knight universe.
No, but, and I will point this out, like, right now, it had to have been some kind of time skip, I feel like. Because that stuff all still happened, and then Jim Gordon is dead for some odd reason, and Barbara's walking for some odd, unless like they're branching off from just that story point and then creating their own universe out from that.
Right.
Like
I feel like it's a similar universe, but it's not the same because like Barbara Gordon walking, Jim Gordon being dead, and Bruce knows about it. So like, if anything,
oh, that was a good point.
Yeah. So if anything. Yeah, that can't be the Arkham Knight universe because by the time Bruce kills himself, dies, whatever, Jim is still out there in that version of the game. So, you know, what's fascinating to me also is that with this pre-recorded message from Bruce, like, what would cause him to leave everything to his team, to his family? You know, like, why would he step out of, like, a lot of people have tried to write Bruce Wayne steps away from Gotham stories, and they're never good.
Yeah.
They're always trash. But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here because this trailer was fucking dope. I feel two ways about it. I feel like this is very exciting because for the longest time I've wanted to play as more of the quote-unquote sidekicks.
Yes.
You know, I want to play as the Robins and Batgirl and whatnot. But also, part of me is a little bummed because I also wanted to be able to mix it up and play as Batman and Robin, you know, and or Batman and Nightwing or Batman and Batgirl. Yeah. Like I wanted Batman also to still be in the mix. So I feel a little torn in that department.
I'm with you on that. I mean, I don't mind it because we've gotten that for like 3 to 4 games already.
Sure.
You know, we've gotten Batman and Bruce Wayne a part of that. I will say that I will miss this game having that kind of aspect of Batman being present there in Gotham. Just it feels like a Gotham without Batman kind of just feels a little weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird adjustment, but I'm so I can't even tell you how excited I am to have a story that's central to his allies.
Yes.
It's, you know, we get all this stuff in comics because, you know, all these characters all have had their own runs or their own teams and stuff, and you've gotten to follow them outside of the Batman books, which has been my favorite part, I think, of reading Tim Drake.
Yeah.
But to have a game with them and just seeing like the first like look at like the thugs or whatever outside this like church building, I'm like, this looks like the Arkham and Arkham Knight.
Sure.
It looks like it feels like it. Even in Arkham City, it's very reminiscent of that, and I love that how that ties into the last game, but I also love how you get to explore it again at a wider scope with other characters.
Right. So, you know, I think it sort of ducktails off of the question left hanging open by Arkham Knight, even if it's not a direct sequel, even if it's a different universe. It sort of stems from that question of like, well, in a world without Batman, you know, how does Gotham function? Like, does his team step up? You know, like, how do they take over in his absence? Which obviously Bruce would trust them to do. So, I think that's pretty neat. I will say, I'm hype about Tim Drake, but like his costume.
I hated it. Oh, I hated it.
Terrible.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I initially, when they showed it, I'm like, this is not Damian Wayne. It is not Damian Wayne. Do not even tell me that this is Damian Wayne, because if it is, I'm throwing this whole game, in my opinion, about it in the garbage where it belongs. No, just kidding. I mean, the game still. I mean, even if that was Damian Wayne, the game it's in itself would look fantastic.
Yeah.
But no, the costume was awful, and that's why I thought it was Damien, because his costume looked like Damien's.
It looked kind of like Damien's, and for a second I was like, is that like a Damien costume without a cape? And I was like, no, he has a cape, but it's also red, and it's just blending into the rest of his costume, and it's just not doing it for me.
It felt like some... it felt like a raincoat with like Robin colors on it, and like just pants. I don't know what they were thinking.
Tim Drake has the dopest Robin costumes in the history of Robin.
He was like I don't want to say he was the first one to don like the red and black color scheme.
Yeah, he was. He was the first one to have pants.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's like, no, we're putting a stop to that right now.
Right. So he was the first one to have pants in his original green, red, and black and gold. But like, you know, the iconic red and black costume that he has is just chef's kiss. It's awesome.
It's so good. It's my favorite thing he's ever put on his body.
Same. And so I'm just like, with all of that to choose from, this is what you came up with. I hate to be petty.
No,
but
I mean, this is the place to be. Right. Absolutely. So please.
I just feel like, you know, I hope the game allows you to customize costumes. Yeah. And I hope that Tim has some better options. You know, this is a very early on. This is an early build of the game. You know, they're not done yet, so I don't want to judge it too harshly. They've clearly put a lot of time and work into this so far, and it's not a finished product. But
it's funny because like Nightwing's and Barbara's and Jason's look very traditional. Their colors, all of that, and then it just seemed like they thought, let's just do something crazy with Tim.
Yeah,
let's see how people like that. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens, and then it was that.
So unnecessary.
Garbage. Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to be so hard on it. I don't want to say that it's like literal garbage. It's just very unpleasing to the eye.
Yeah, it looks like he only has that, and they're only showing that and his Red Robin costume with the cowl.
Yeah, and we saw it briefly in that trailer, and we saw it more in the
gameplay.
Yes, and I didn't love that one either.
No.
But it just seemed like a culmination of like Damien and Jason's with the hood. I couldn't see his face.
Right. Yeah.
Because he was turned around the whole time.
It looks too much more like a helmet instead of like a cowl like Batman has. Which I guess Batman in the Arkham games has kind of like, by the time you get to Arkham Knight, it's kind of helmety. Like it's kind of more reinforced or whatever. But I think if you're gonna do Red Robin that way, then I think a sleeker cowl would look a little better, or you can go without the cowl, because I love, as whack as the New 52 version of Tim Drake was, I love his costume. I think that aesthetic was, his Red Robin costume in the New 52 was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So you could always go with the domino mask and whatnot. You could do either wings or a cape. I don't care. But like, but as Robin, I feel like his costume still needs to step up. So
in the game, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you.
But there's a lot to love.
There's a lot to love in this trailer. Oh my goodness. I guess we'll segue then into, I don't know what else there is. I mean, I know one thing, but I don't know a lot about it. We'll segue into the end part of the trailer that showed what the main storyline that they're gonna adapt or take from, or that is in the Batman universe, which is the Night of Owls, the Court of Owls. Yes. Sorry, the Court of Owls story, which I honestly know nothing about. I know that we got a villain or vigilante Talon from that. I know has a lot to do with, like, not going into spoiler territory. I think it has some kind of thing to do with like Batman as a kid, and then Nightwing, I think, and it really makes me want to read it, but it makes me want to know how they would adapt it to where Batman isn't here anymore.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting thing. So I have read The Court of Owls. I'm not going to spoil it here because I don't want to spoil it for Miles. I don't want to spoil it for anyone else who hasn't read it. But it's a solid story. It's definitely one of those classic Batman stories. And I think that there have been whispers about this next Batman game for a while.
Being the Court of...
Yeah, and people have been saying it's going to be the Court of Owls, it's going to be the Court of Owls, and, like, you know, people got all sorts of details wrong. People said, like, it's going to be about Damian taking over, or it's going to be about whatever, and clearly it's not, but the Court of Owls still making it in there was really fun, just because I could see the faces of so many people being vindicated.
Right, yeah,
like I know it. You know, so Court of Owls for me is definitely a quality Batman story. It's not quite up there with Hush or Batman Year One or some of my other favorites, but like I think it's another good one that goes through his allies and brings a vicious new villain to the table that's interesting and that puts Batman to his limits. So I'm happy to get the Court of Owls. I think it's time to get some different villains in there. I love Joker, but we're Jokered out.
We
at this
are.
point.
Oh gosh, yeah.
The Arkham games made it a recurring theme to have Joker included in every game.
Yeah.
Which worked for them.
It did.
But I'm ready to be past Joker. Even just in other media, we're just getting a lot of Joker. There's Joker war going on literally right now in the comics. And so I'm just like, Joker and Harley Quinn could take a break.
Please.
You know, like...
Sit your asses down.
Like, I love them. They are up there, my favorite, you know, Batman villains. They're in my top 10 list for sure, but like, let's give some light to some other characters. So I'm glad to see this. I'm happy to see it.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's just a story that I don't know from Batman, so I'm happy to have a fresh take on it. I mean eventually end up reading it. I guess I have to now, but I'm really excited. This is a small thing, but I'm really excited for the lack of Damian in this game.
Yes.
And that's like, and again, that's no hate towards people who like Damian Wayne. Okay, if you like Damian Wayne, if he's your favorite Robin, more good on you. All right, everybody has a favorite Robin. Everybody's different, all that stuff. And,
absolutely.
And you know, in some comic books, I probably might like him. But the main point that I'm trying to make is that he's been so intertwined into every single media outlet that Batman is a part of, and it's been very excluding for Tim.
Yeah.
Tim in particular, and Tim always really, because he's just the one Robin that it seems like nobody really knows what to do with him.
Right. It's ever since Damian has come into play.
Yeah.
It's like they felt like, well, there's not enough room for both of them. So like, Damian's the new thing, so we're gonna pimp the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You know, and we're just gonna put Tim on a shelf. And I've never been okay with that. It's one of the main reasons that I have trouble identifying with Damian or grafting onto him as a character, is just because, I mean, besides the fact that Grant Morrison intentionally made him unlikable to start with, like entitled and bratty and an asshole. But aside from that, it's the fact that he displaced one of my favorite Robins, Tim Drake. It just made me like the character less. And so with Damian being put in our faces in every other form of media, including the animated movies, the comics, you name it, you know, Damian's showing up. It's nice to get a little break from that and get some more shine on Tim.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to necessarily live in a world where it's one or the other, but for the time being, it's nice to get a break from Damian and get some more Tim.
Yes. Yes, that. Yeah, and it's in the best form I could ask it to be in. You know, if I wanted to read just him, I could do that. There's a bunch of back issues. He had a fucking over, is that 184, I think, 184 comic book run as a solo book.
Yeah.
And then he was a part of teams like Teen Titans and Young Justice to start with, and then after that, really, they didn't really know what to do with him, so they killed him, and then they brought him back, and then you didn't see him in Detective Comics anymore, and then we got Young Justice, the other one.
For those who are not aware, who have not followed us on Twitch, which totally do that because it's a fun time.
Yes. Link will be below or some shit.
Yes, something like that. Our avatars are literally, I mean, I think it's in this as well.
A transition,
yeah.
Our transition, yeah.
Our avatars are literally Nightwing and Tim Drake Robin. So like, we're big fans of that particular relationship in comics.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just sending my imagination wild thinking about how many hours we can kill just running around Gotham as Nightwing and Robin.
We're gonna get like people are gonna be so annoyed with how many times we stream this game. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm so blown away. It's like everything I could have asked for in any Batman related thing ever. You know, I think it's something that we've both been asking for in like comics and in the animated universe or the cinematic animated universe or whatever you want to call it, and then just like in just the DC extended universe. Like we really just wanted we were gonna dedicate an entire podcast talk to Tim Drake and how much we love him and miss him, which we still might do.
Yes,
but it's just nice to have a game that looks like it has a really good storyline and starting place, that's going to be adapting a storyline that people really like and is popular, and that we're including really popular characters and not doing it like, you know, in any weird kind of weird reversed kind of way. You know, it just seems like they really, like, you could just tell in the way they move in that trailer that, oh my god, that's definitely Dick.
Yes.
That's Jason with all the moves, and that's Tim
being tactical and smart and moving
like when he went invisible, I'm just like, that is such a Tim thing.
Yeah.
He would, oh my god, he's the tech guy. It's just like they're all to their core, those characters. And even just finding out a little bit about them in the gameplay trailer, their voice actors.
Yeah.
Whether those were just for the demo or for the trailer, they were spot on.
Yes.
They were so spot on. And we got so little of that in the trailer. But already I'm just like completely sold.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of those tiny gripes about the Arkham series is that like the Tim Drake in those games is so different from his comic book counterpart. Like they kind of invented their own version of Tim. They made him a bit more gruff and definitely more deezed out, muscly and like bald and like, you know, he looked and sounded like a grown ass man. I'm not knocking the voice acting. It was
for sure.
It was good voice acting, but like he looked and sounded like he was 25. So like
absolutely.
getting the voice we got in the gameplay trailer for Arkham Knight, I mean for Gotham Knights, it was nice because he sounded like a kid. You know, he sounded young enough, and he sounded, I don't know, he had the polite disposition I would expect him to have. So,
which it's a further, I can't think of the word, further point or further like, you know, clue as to how different this universe really is. But it was very smart of them to kind of leave or take off from a major plot point in Arkham Knight. I thought that was genius, and then they're just creating their own thing, and it all you know comes full circle for me within the day of, you know, just talking about this, in the sense that it's not Rocksteady. They're not the ones, you know, working on this game. It's a different company, but they're creating their own thing, and it's fresh and it's new, but it's paying homage to something that we've already gotten. And that people already love, and it's the perfect culmination. I couldn't really ask for anything else in that game trailer. I couldn't. I mean, I obviously want more, and I want it now.
Yeah.
But what we got today was just, amazing.
The last thought I have is that they did this entirely in a cold, calculated, smart way. Like, you heard nothing about this game. All you heard were whispers and rumors that, I swear there's going to be another Batman game. I swear there's going to be another Batman game, and it's going to have something to do with the Court of Owls, and like blah 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 blah. People were grasping at straws for years. Ever since Arkham Knight ended, like people have been speculating about the next Batman game, and Warner Brothers and DC haven't said shit. They really haven't. They just kind of showed up one day and like started dropping some breadcrumbs with the online little mystery you could solve. They're like puzzles you could solve online that led to essentially announcing that the trailer's coming today. That's all they really gave you. So I would have
loved to participate in that. I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh yeah. So like a lot of streamers were like following the little clues and trying to figure out what it means. But like, other than that, they haven't given you anything. And then all of a sudden they're just like, DC FANDOM, plop. You know, they just wow you with gameplay and not with months of speculation and all this other stuff. They just like don't come at you with a bunch of articles talking about what they're gonna do or whatever. They didn't send us just like a sloppy, like, or not sloppy, but like just kind of a typical, you know, teaser trailer that's just like the game is coming. No, they didn't do anything. They're super quiet, and then they just drop us story and gameplay, and they're like, do you like it or do you not like it? And of course we fucking like it. So bravo to them and their whole team.
Seriously, this made my entire fucking week. This made 2020 just a little bit more redeemable.
Yes.
It's still not, but
right.
I don't know what else to say. I really don't. Like, it's everything I ever wanted it to be, and I didn't even know I wanted it. I honestly just thought they were all rumors, you know.
Yeah, same.
And I was waiting for an announcement. I looked on to what the fuck just happened. We're still rolling, so I think it was just the display. It was weird. But yeah, I really wasn't expecting to get anything today, let alone like within the next month or so. I just wasn't.
No.
Like this DC fandom thing was just something that I think we had both heard about, but none of us really like paid attention to it.
Yeah.
We haven't been the most pleased with, you know, DC's actions as of late. I know I haven't.
No.
And so it was a really weird place to be a DC fan.
Yeah.
And this is just a saving grace for like everything ever, and we haven't even seen everything that's been released in the DC fandom thing.
So much more content for us to delve into. I think there's a Wonder Woman trailer.
The new Wonder Woman trailer just got released as well.
I don't know if they dropped anything about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Not that crazy about that, but like at least it's interesting.
Or I can't think of it, but Robert Pattinson's Batman too.
Right, yeah.
I think they're dropping something about that as well. Aquaman, which Black Adam.
I think the CW shows are dropping stuff like Flash and Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm just excited that we got this much from the gaming side of things.
Yes.
This is as gamers and comic book fans, this is a nice happy marriage. That they've given us here. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for more content. I can't wait for gameplay demos. I can't wait for the game. So I am sold. I am in. Like, they pretty much have my pre-order money now.
Yeah.
No matter what they do with this game, like they could still trip over the finish line. It's not a done deal. But I'm just saying, like, I don't care. I'm buying it and I'm playing it.
Oh yeah, I will sell my house. No, it honestly is just really exciting. And again, another thing that we were talking about as gamers, is like what to put out next, but like also just a game that's really on the horizon that we're really just really excited about.
Yeah.
You know, and we had trouble finding some because it's been a really good year for gaming.
Yeah, yes.
And I mean, assuming that this is going to come out on a PlayStation 5, it gives me that much more of a reason to actually feel justified in getting it.
Yeah.
And not just for one game.
We were just talking about that because Spider-Man Miles Morales is the game that's making us get the PS5 essentially.
Yes.
But like, I feel it just feels dirty somehow because I'm just like, I don't buy consoles right when they come out. I wait and I wait for a library and I wait for a game that I just can't ignore, which is why Miles Morales is doing that. But like, it's nice to know that there's something on the horizon, like Miles is saying, that we can also still be excited about and know that, like, okay, I'm not just getting one game I'm hyped about, like I'm getting at least two. So.
And I'll keep saying it. It makes it even that much more exciting to be able to have it be something that we can do together and play together. And that's Batman, which is like what we love.
Yes.
Like it's just awesome, and we cannot wait to release more content like this.
Yes.
This has been really fun talking about this.
This really has.
Yeah, I was not expecting to do this today. Really wasn't. It's just something. We're just sitting around. We're just like, do you want to watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Right. That's just how it happened. So
Yeah.
Up next we'll probably do some other trailer reactions or or stuff like that. But obviously we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, look for more content here on YouTube, but also remember, check us out at twitch.tv/TactileTK, and hang out with us while we game. Come chat with us.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
We're also on social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Yes.
We post some of our clips from our funny moments in Twitch and just some of our thoughts too and all that stuff. But yeah, YouTube is something that I'm really excited to delve into because it's really just us sitting around chilling and just like talking.
Yeah.
And just really excited to let you in that world.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for coming to watch and chill with this video for a little bit. Thank you for giving us a shot. Hopefully this will just be an ongoing thing, and you'll get to know us and our taste and our geekdoms one by one. So
with that being said, until next time.
Absolutely.